Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today it's time to take a look at the upcoming releases over this next week. Now as always here I don't look at absolutely everything, instead I focus on those games that are catching my eye while trying just to skip over the shovelware, and I will give you an idea if they are a day one buy for me or if I'd probably be waiting on reviews. Now that said, if I do miss anything, let me know in the comments down below. I will say though, this is a good week, a fair few solid looking releases, so with that hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. Alright, so let's go big to kick things off. Ghostrunner is due to drop on the 27th, but there's still nothing on the eShop, so whether it's happening or not, I cannot say. This though is a fast-paced first-person cyberpunk adventure, and already at that point I'm a day one buyer just with that small description. It looks stunning, and the trailer you are seeing right now is all Nintendo Switch footage. If they can keep the frame rate where it needs to be, this could quickly become one of the best looking games on the console. Previews though so far they have been positive. I don't think it's going to be the longest of experiences, but yeah, looks like you get guns, swords, and then even get to pull out some like flashy parkour infused platforming. Really excited for this one, and while I can't say the price, my guess is it's going to be around that $30 or like your local equivalent mark, just because that's the price I'm seeing right now on Steam and PlayStation for the same day release. So Cobra Kai, now a game based on the TV show, which is based on obviously Karate Kid. Not gonna say I'm holding my breath on this one, that is for sure. Licensed games rarely come out the gate swinging, let's face it. I think it's smart though, they've kept things simple, it's just a beat 'em up, which makes sense. This one, it's allowing us to, character hop and see the story from both sides. So you've got Daniel LaRusso's and then Johnny Lawrence's. Topping it off though, it even has RPG elements, so yeah, it's a fancy way of saying you're gonna be able to learn new skills. Problems for me, graphically, I think it does look a little on the weak side, but the main thing, it's got to be that price point. It is way too high for me to go day one. When you factor in that is nearly double the cost of the mighty Streets of Rage 4, and then even games like River City Girls and The Takeover. Even with the 20% launch discount, I think this will be a hard sell unless you've played absolutely every other fighter out there. Alright, so another heavy hitter now, Oddworld New and Tasty, and with this one the majority will no doubt know if this is a day one buy immediately. For me, I'm down to go day one. So far we've seen Munch's Odyssey and Stranger's Wrath. They both hit the Switch. They were both great ports, but this is the one I've been waiting for. It's the ground up remake of the original entry that was Abe's Odyssey. This remake, it was first released back in 2014, and I actually played it personally on the PlayStation 4. It is showing its age, but to me this is the real Oddworld, side-scrolling, a weird and out there sense of humour, great graphical style, and yeah, it's just got a whole lot of charm. When you do play this one though, I think it'll be easy to see why the Oddworld name has become so loved. As always though, this one is launching with a 20% discount. This discount though, it shouldn't rush you into picking it up. The other Oddworld releases did the same thing, and then they drop them on sale now every couple of months with that same 20%. Great game though, really excited to grab this one. So Dungread now, and I really do like the look of this one as well. It's a Nicalis release who are known, I will say, for their quality, and the idea is this: you are an adventurer who must explore a continuously evolving dungeon to basically prevent the destruction of their towns, and nothing like you haven't heard before. Seeing as this one though is procedurally generated, we should see a lot of replayability options here, and then you'll be visiting different locations within this world, throwing then weapons and different skills to level up, and I do really like the look of it. Tons of pixel style games out there just like this one, but I've always got room to squeeze one more in the library, honestly. Plus the price point, nice and low, and from the screenshots it's combining 2D action platforming with the occasional top-down viewpoint. That for sure in itself kind of piques my curiosity. Again, as I said, I'm going to go day one on this one, and maybe I'll get some coverage out on the channel. So Carto now, and this one tells the tale of a young girl by the name of Carto who must use cartography powers to map and manipulate the world around her. This is so she can reunite with her grandmother, who she was separated from during a storm. Not a huge amount to say on this one, honestly. It's touting a 5 to 7 hour story, characters to obviously meet, and then of course a ton of puzzles. I'll be waiting on reviews for this one, but Humble Games, the publisher, they've picked up some great games so far this generation, and I love the visual style as it has this hand-drawn quality. Hopefully the gameplay though is as solid, as I think this could become a hidden gem on the console. Point and click fans now, Gibbous is, I think I'm saying that right, is a comedy, cosmic horror, whatever that means, where you can control 3 different protagonists in a Lovecraft inspired world. It's promising 60 hand painted environments, 60 fully voice acted characters, 12,000 lines of spoken dialogue, over 4 hours of original music, and then a whole lot of puzzles. That's about all I really know, but to me, that just screams like they really care about this IP. And then those visuals, stunning and a true throwback to, like LucasArts days. Take my cash day one here, I will always support a new point and click. Alright, so I think one of the biggest releases of the week now, Oceanhorn 2 Knights of the Lost Realm. If the first Oceanhorn was more Link's Awakening style, this one has seen a true evolution, and they switch things out to a third-person approach that you've got to say looks very similar in style to that of Breath of the Wild. Oceanhorn is a Zelda clone, it's not shy about that at all. The first entry was solid, and it seems this one most enjoyed it, with it getting decent reviews as it did start its life on the Apple Arcade. Here though, it's set 1,000 years before the first entry, and it's the age-old tale of, get together a band of heroes and stop an evil army from destroying the world. Promising though 20 plus hours of gameplay, boss fights, puzzles, and side quests. Got really high hopes here. I'm always on the lookout though for something to, scratch that Zelda itch, and this could be it. I'll be day one on this one, but I am hoping also to have a review out on this channel. So quick one now, but Crimzon Clover World Explosion. This bullet hell shmup looks the part from what I'm seeing, and reviews on other consoles where it released it looks like about 4 years ago. It looks like it's going to be very good. I wouldn't go in expecting a huge amount of story or anything else, but it does seem options are plentiful with both different playstyles and challenges. I'm a shmup fan, I'm curious as always to see the level of difficulty, and outside of shmup fans I'd probably be waiting on reviews honestly, just to see how that learning curve is. As I say, I'm going to go day one. I really hope it has tape mode too though, meaning I can put that screen vertically, but the screenshots and the way they've done the menu design on the left and right hand side of the screen, I'm gonna guess that's probably not gonna be a feature. So Wallachia, Reyna Dracula, I hope I'm saying that right, and I'll be honest as well with this one, I don't really like the look of this, but I wanted to mention it because it is, a Castlevania knockoff. They even advertise it as being inspired by. It's one I'll take a look at reviews, but the features list in the eShop puts me off. 7 levels, 100% of retro, 100% of action, minigames, full English voiceover. I don't know, I think they're stretching it a bit by, announcing action and retro as being features, and that always kind of makes me nervous. If anything though, it's actually the visuals. The animation on our hero here just looks kind of like weird and doesn't look right to me. Hopefully I'm wrong though, as the story does sound unique. It's basically Vlad the Impaler takes on Dracula. We will see, but maybe you know more than me and I should be excited. Let me know in the comments below if that is the case. This one, it's also rocking a 20% launch discount. Yuppie Psycho Executive Edition no doubt looks interesting. This is one of those ones that didn't really catch my eye at first, but the more I've looked into it, the more I'm slowly kind of becoming excited for it. That's mainly because honestly, reviews are solid. It's out elsewhere already, but it's also got a unique concept. It's the first job survival horror experience. Here we will be joining Brian Paternak, a young man with no future in a dystopian 90s society. This is his first day at a new job with a company called Sintracorp. This job though, it turns out on the first day, is to hunt witches. So this isn't the usual, sit at your desk, do a little bit of onboarding, day-to-day stuff. Like the visual style though, and hopefully it has an out there sense of humour to match the idea, as this could be another hidden gem coming our way. This one is also launching with a 10% discount. So NIS America now, you can always rely on them to bring the weird, and this week it is Mad Rat Dead, and I've played the demo of this one, and it is for sure different. The story, you are a rat who is part of a lab. Opening things up is basically being dissected. Reaching limbo after death, he is given one wish, a chance to return and complete any unfinished business. His aim though, during this time, kill the human who did this to him. Story wise, 1 point for weird, but this is where it gets real strange. It's the gameplay. It's a platformer where at the bottom of the screen you'll have a heartbeat and you must jump, dash and smash in time with this beat to keep yourself going. So yeah, this is actually a rhythm game. Hopefully it has some solid music to back it up, and I'm going to try and get a review out of this one myself, but either way I'd probably be waiting on reviews just to see how the feeling is towards that kind of unusual combination. Case 2 Animatronic Survival, this one's not for me, but I wanted to throw it in because I know a lot of people love their Five Nights at Freddy's, and this is basically, a knockoff Freddy, where instead of giving you that kind of office setting, they're giving you free first person movement. Here though, you'll be playing as a character named Jack, who has committed some sort of crime and you need to now save him. Seems they're adding a little bit of mystery here because they're not giving you anything else, and I appreciate that. Definitely helps me get locked in, but yeah, Expect here basically stealth and puzzle gameplay. I think it's too expensive, and with no launch day discount, I foresee this one heading into like eShop obscurity relatively quickly. The first entry it released back in 2019 though, and I've never really thought about it again. It's never been on sale once, so it seems you shouldn't be sitting and waiting for this one. I can't imagine it's heading to that deal section anytime soon. I'm waiting on reviews though after opinions for that first game were very average, and let's see if they can step it up here. So Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe, and I've always wanted to play these and never did get the chance, even though it seems it's come out on nearly every platform over these last few years. Angry Video Game Nerd is a great YouTube show and a character, and well worth checking out even if you don't pick up the game. This, I'm not really expecting much outside of a classic throwback to, platformers of yesteryear, but the 8-bit style here looks solid. They've done some nice tweaks graphically as well for this re-release. They've then added a new chapter, and if I had to guess from the thumbnail alone, you can expect a ton of pop culture related references. I'm gonna go day one. I'm a fan of the show. I think the game looks awesome, so yeah, I'm willing to spend some cash. So the penultimate game of the week then, and this is the big release, let's face it, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and if you haven't already, there is a demo available on the eShop right now to check out, and progression from that demo will carry over to the main game, so get started there if you're going to go day one like me. Pikmin though, it's basically a strategy title where you'll be commanding different types of Pikmin to overcome this world, whether that's, gathering resources, overcoming puzzle moments and obstacles, or simply just, battling it out. This was from the Wii U days, which means it didn't gain near the love it deserved, and this looks to be a great package, bringing together now not only the base game but all the DLC, and that storyline here, it is pretty lengthy, offering then though additional co-op play modes, and I think we can be excited for this one, even if I will say I think the pricing is a little too high, but that's not really a surprise. This is Nintendo, it's a first party game after all, and this seems to be their go-to range for these re-releases and remasters. As I said though, day one, no doubt I'll also have something out on the channel. So our final game then, closing out the week on its own on the 31st of the month, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Not sure it's for me, but I can't work out if this is a new game or a remake, as there was a free to play on Steam with the same name, but that does look very different. This seems to take though the Five Nights formula and combine tycoon-like gameplay with the trademark Freddy horror. Graphics look awful, honestly. Even if this was on my iPhone, I don't think I would be impressed, but it's the gameplay that matters, so we will see. It is for sure a unique combination. That said, as I say, I'm going to be waiting on reviews. Maybe I'll give it a shot once I know just a little bit more about it. And that is it, another week down. Will you be adding anything to your collection, or did I miss anything I should be checking out? For me, I gotta say, it's a pretty simple week, honestly. My top three are Ghostrunner, Oceanhorn 2, and then Pikmin 3, but there is more than a few I'm looking forward to checking out, especially on a shmup front. With that then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.